Okay. All right. So first we're going to start seated. You can just sit straight on your mat, or you can sit on a cushion if you're more comfortable that way. Once we start settling in, we can keep a soft gaze or just close our eyes. Take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. I'm going to first start with the greeting of Namaste. So we're going to continue to inhale through our nose. Allow our bodies to adjust to us feeling each breath. Next, we're going to gently come for the meditation of the class. And to do that, we're actually going to lay on our mats with our bodies completely rested on the mat. If you need to have cushions under your knees, we can do that. So just gently, if you're already seating on a bolster or you have a blanket, just place it under your knees. So you put it right under your knees here. That way it'll help your lower back, and you just lay down flat on the mat. And we're going to be on this position. This is called corpse pose. We're going to be here for just a few minutes, 10 minutes or so, just to get grounded and centered in our practice. Gently allow your body to rest. Adjust your shoulder blades so that your body is in complete comfort, so that we can focus solely on the breath. You can have the palms of your hand facing up towards the sky, or you can have them to the sides of your hips. Whatever's more comfortable for you. And just focus on inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. I'm going to allow for some space for quietness and calmness, but first I would like to start with honoring what the yoga practice is all about and what yoga means. As I do this, continue to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Yoga, meaning to yoke in Sanskrit, is to combine, to mesh, to blend both your mind, your body, and your spirit, to be in union with oneself and the divine. Yoga has been in practice for thousands and thousands of years, with origins in India and other civilizations as well. Before this exact moment in time, many of our ancestors have connected their minds, bodies, and spirits, and many will after us today too. It's important to show gratitude for our elders and our ancestors, because without them, we would not have this practice today to bring calm and peace into the world and to ourselves. I want you to place the palm of your right hand over your heart. As you inhale, feel your chest rise and bring your left palm over your other hand, placing both hands over your heart as you inhale. Inhaling gratitude for this practice and for its origins. Nothing that we do in this moment, in this next hour of yoga, is about anything other than your breath and becoming one with your mind, body, and spirit. The shapes that we're going to get into are just shapes to allow us to do that. And we just have to treat our bodies with compassion and love during this time. Remembering that with the challenges that are coming with some of these poses, the goal is not to hurt our bodies, but it's to provide relief through the breath. Feel your heartbeat and feel your breath. Gently bring both palms to rest on the side again. As we continue to focus on our breath, we're going to set our intention for our practice for our next hour. I'm going to give you a few moments and a few breaths for you to allow yourself to just be in this moment and try to listen to your spirit and what your heart is telling you that your practice needs to be about in this hour. Maybe it's compassion, maybe it's self-love, maybe it's patience for yourself, maybe it's just sending out peace to the world. Continue to focus on your breathing and continue to stay in corpse pose. I'm going to sit up because I do want to read something to you, but I want you to stay in corpse pose so that you can stay in this moment. I'm going to play the bell, the Tibetan bowl, as I read this poem called Imagine a Woman. Continue to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Focus on the words of the poem. Imagine a woman who believes it is right and good she is a woman. A woman who honors her experience and tells her stories. Who refuses to carry the sins of others within her body and life. Imagine a woman who trusts and respects herself, a woman who listens to her needs and desires, who meets them with tenderness and grace. Imagine a woman who has acknowledged the past's influence on the present, a woman who has walked through her past, who is healed into the present. Imagine a woman who authors her own life, a woman who exerts, initiates, and moves on her own behalf, a woman who refuses to surrender except to her truest self and wisest voice. Imagine a woman who names her own gods, a woman who imagines the divine in her image and likeness, who designs a personal spirituality to inform her daily life. Imagine a woman in love with her own body, a woman who believes her body is enough, just as it is. A woman who celebrates her body's rhythms and cycles as an exquisite resource. Imagine a woman who honors the body of the goddess in her changing body, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the body of the goddess in her changing body, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, a woman who celebrates the A woman who refuses to use her precious life energy, disguising the chances in her body and life. Imagine a woman who values the women in her life, a woman who sits in circles of women, who is reminded of the truth about herself when she forgets. Imagine yourself as this woman. What would it feel like to be this woman who honors herself fully, who gives of herself with love and compassion? I want you to bring that woman to this practice. Whenever you feel like there's a challenging pose or challenging thoughts telling you what your to-do list is, what you're going to do after this class, what you did today. Whenever those thoughts come, just watch them leave your brain like a cloud. And be that woman that honors her body, that allows for the yoke of the mind, body, and spirit. And allow a few more breaths. And then we're going to start gently wiggling our toes. Wiggling our fingers. Maybe making circles with our ankles, circles with our wrists. Maybe shaking our legs from left to right to just bring some awareness to our hips and to our legs. And when you're ready, gently start opening your eyes. Stretch your fingertips away from your body. Stretch your toes away from your body. Stretch out as long as you can on the mat. Roll onto your belly and meet me in all fours. So that means meeting me with your knees on the mat. We don't have to rush. You can just go as gentle as you need. So maybe with your knees on the mat and the palms of your hand on your mat. If you want, you can roll the towel underneath your knees if you need more cushion for your knees, because we're going to be doing a couple of knee poses. So you can put the mat like that if you want. If you don't want, then don't do it. Okay, so once you meet me, keep your chin tucked, because the more that you kind of put your neck out, it might hurt your neck a little bit. So first we're going to bring awareness to our wrists by kind of swinging our bodies, our pelvic bone back and forth. Maybe we want to make some circles over our wrists. You can see how tight it is probably from the computer. Make some circles to the opposite side. Bring a little more weight into your wrists. Bring your sit bone to sit on your calves. And I want you to take your hands and start making circles with your wrists. Gentle. light, doesn't have to be fast. And next we're gonna go to the other side. We're gonna go front and back. Then we're gonna take our right hand and we're gonna bring our fingers over the palm of our hand and our fingers, and we're gonna push those fingers back down towards the mat. And you should be feeling some pressure here. We're gonna breathe. And we're not pushing it to hurt ourselves, just enough to feel pressure there so that we release some tension from all the typing and swiping and texting. Next, we're gonna bring them in towards us. So you're kind of making like a swan. So you're placing the palm of your hand over the top of your fingers. And again, bringing in pressure, not pain. Breathing. If you want, you can remain seated on your calves or you can stand up on your knees. And next, we're going to shake that right hand out. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So we're going to put our fingers, the top of our fingers should be facing towards the sky. And our left hand needs to be facing up towards the sky as well. Again, just feeling pressure on the wrists. Don't want to overstretch it. Just a few breaths. Next, we're going to do it inwards. So bring those fingers to look down to the mat as you press down with the palm of your other hand and your other fingers, pressing it in. When you're ready, gently let go and shake it out. All right, so back on all fours. We're gonna keep our wrist to go under our shoulder so that we're creating a straight line from our shoulders down to the mat. So making sure that we have our hands spread about shoulder width apart, not out here, not over here in the center, but really just right over our shoulders. Okay, once we're there, we're gonna do cat and cow poses. So we're gonna first tuck our torso in towards our stomach and tuck our chin towards the chest. And next we're gonna stretch out our sit bone and arch our back as we lift our chin towards the sky. We're going to continue this motion, leading it with our torso, with our hips, and our breath. So as you bring your chin up towards the sky, inhale. As you tuck your chin and tuck your torso and your sit bone, exhale. Remember to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Follow your own breath with this. As we're warming up our arms and our hips. Being gentle with our torso and our pelvic bones. Two more breaths here. When you're ready, we're gonna sit back, bring our sit bones to our calves and walk the palms of our hands up our legs so that we're standing on our knees. We're gonna bring both palms towards the sky. We're gonna drop our shoulders, but keep our arms straight towards the sky and our gaze towards the sky as we bend our backs to the back of the room. Inhale. And arch your back, bend your back towards the back of the wall. Just a few breaths here in the back bend. Then gently come back to center, hinging your hips back. Bring your arms to the sides of your hips. We're going to take our right arm, our right palm, and we're going to lean in towards the left side of the room, taking our left arm towards the mat, reaching for the mat as we bend over our hip. And breathe. You can keep a soft gaze on the hand that's towards the sky, or you could keep your chin tucked if your neck is in any sort of discomfort. Breathe. Gently lift your body back to center. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So drop your right arm, reach towards the left side of the room as your right arm is reaching towards the mat. And you're going to feel this on your hips. Breathe. Keep a soft gaze on that arm that's towards the sky. When you're ready, bring both arms to center. We're going to hinge again, and we're going to go towards our mat. So bringing both palms to the mat. You can do this by bringing your sit bone down or just gently walking your palms towards the ground. Next, we're going to open up our knee stands just a little bit closer to the width of the mat. And we're going to open up our arms just a little bit closer to the width of the mat. We're going to lean over our shoulders and slowly drop our body, our face to the mat as gently as we can. We're going to go into cobra. So we're going to tuck our toes in as we keep the palms of our hands next to each side of our chest. Keeping your face on the mat, getting ready to inhale and lift your upper back. Lift through your shoulders, but drop your shoulders so they're not tense, and you're reaching your chin towards the sky. And then we're gently dropping our bellies to the mat first, then our chest, and last our chin and our face. Again, lift. Dropping your shoulders so they're not tense, but that you're looking up towards the sky. And then gently bring your body down. Let's do this for 5 more breaths, being conscious of our breath. For each time we lift, we're going to inhale. And exhale, bring it down. Inhale and bring it down. We're keeping our hips on the mat, so it's just our upper back. When you're ready, I want you to lift for one last time and remain on the lift. And then I want you to pull your sit bones back towards the room. Bring your head to the mat. And then gently tuck your toes. Walk with your knees towards the top of your mat. Tuck your toes in. Get on all fours, and we're going to lift to downward dog. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to keep our chin tucked, and then we're going to lift through our knees, keeping our knees bent for the beginning of the pose. You may want to also put down a towel to where your palms of your hands are so that you don't slip on the mat. So we're going to again be on all fours. Have your toes tucked in, your chin is tucked in, and then we're going to lift through our butt towards the sky.
And then we're going to take 5 breaths in this pose. You may want to open your stance too. If downward dog is uncomfortable, you can open your stance. Placing both soles of your feet on the mat and making sure that you have the energy spread through each fingertip and both palms. Spread your toes. Inhaling, exhaling. One last breath. And gently walk the palms of your hand towards your legs. Keep your chin tucked to your chest. Keep your arms hanging on the mat. You can open up your stance if this pose is uncomfortable. Keep the palms of your hand facing the sky, but keep them under your leg. If that's too much, you can also keep them on your ankle or on your shins. The point of this pose is to allow your brain to be hanging towards the mat and having your heart at an inversion. I can feel my spine cracking, breathing, seeing if I can get just a little bit closer to the mat with my head. Then we're going to gently take our palms, engage our hips and our torso and hinge at our hips for a halfway lift, where we bring just our upper back to a straight line so that we're creating an L. Keeping your chin tucked so that we're protecting our neck. We're keeping our knees slightly bent so that we're not locking our knees. We're keeping our hands on our shins, the palms of our hands, as we keep our back straight and our shoulders are reaching towards the back of the room. Just a few breaths here. We're going to engage again and hinge towards the mat, bringing our head down towards the mat, gently sliding my hands to my ankles, bringing the palms of my hand again. I can keep them on my ankles or I can keep them towards the mat. Allowing my body to sink and invert. Gently bringing our palms of our hands back to our ankles, slowly lifting, hinging our hips back to center, creating an L, keeping our back straight, our shoulders towards the back of our room. And from there, we're actually going to come to mountain pose to standing. So gently start hinging your lower back towards the sky. As we stand, bringing both palms to the side, you can adjust your posture. Your stance can be about hip width apart on the mat. If you need to bring some more blood flow to your feet, or if your feet are hurting, you can just take little side steps to adjust. Next, we are going to go to mountain pose, which means we're going to engage our feet on the ground. We're going to keep a slight bend on our knees so that we're not locking our legs. We're going to keep our arms out. We're going to very much with intention feel our chest rise as we inhale. And our shoulders drop as we exhale. Allowing our blood flow to return to its normal pace from being inverted. Next, we're going to go into our Warrior 1 and Warrior 2 poses. So we're going to start out with upward salute.
which means we're gonna bring our arms up towards the sky gently and just keeping them straight, dropping our shoulders, but keeping your arms straight. When you're ready, take a big step with your right foot. Take a big step towards the front of the mat and bend your knee into that step. So lean into your right leg as you keep your back leg straight. Both feet are facing forward. Breathe. We're leaning into that right leg as much as we can, but we're not going with our knee over our toes. So we're keeping our knee slightly straight. So I'm going to show you what it looks like from this side. So we're keeping this bent knee, but we're also keeping this, our ankles and our knees in a straight line. And we're keeping both feet facing the same position. As we breathe, we're going to do 5 breaths here, intentional breaths. Inhale through your nose, dropping your shoulder so that your arms are straight, but you're not hurting your neck. Our next pose of Warrior Two is going to require you to have your back foot leg, have the sole of your back left foot go to a 45-degree angle. So it's going to be going towards the middle of the room while your front foot is keeping straight. And you want to keep it at a 45-degree angle so that you're not hurting your arches of your foot. You're leaning into that heel and that side of the foot, and you're leaning into your knee, the front right knee as well. And you're going to bring both arms up to balance. Your back arm is going to be reaching towards the left of the room. Your right arm is going to be reaching towards the front of the room. You're going to be gazing to that front of the room. Taking 5 intentional breaths here. When you're ready, bring your forearm to rest above your knee. So you're leaning into the knee, that the leg that is having your knee bent. You're bringing your left arm to reach to the front of the room. You're going to keep a soft gaze on that left hand that's reaching to the side of the room. We're going to take a couple of breaths here. Next, we're going to take that left hand that's reaching towards the side of the room, and we're going to slowly and gently drop it towards the mat. The arm that is leaning over the right knee, we're going to bring that arm towards the right side of the room for a twist. So that arm is going to be reaching towards the sky as our left arm touches the mat and supports our balance on the mat. We're going to get that arm as straight as we can and breathe into this pose. Next, we're going to drop that right arm back on above our knee to rest above our knee as we come back to Warrior Two, which is having both of our arms balanced and straight in a straight line to the front and the back of the room. Keeping our knee bent. And now we're going back to Warrior One, and we're gonna bring both of our feet together and back to mountain pose. We're gonna do the same thing for the left leg. So let's just take a few breaths. to center ourselves. I'm gonna walk to the back of the mat. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Okay, when you're ready, take a step with your left leg or the opposite leg, keeping your hips forward, keeping both of your feet forward. And we're leaning into that left leg. When you're ready, bring the arms up towards the sky. Breathing. Inhaling through our nose, dropping our shoulders, but keeping our arms straight. It's important not to lock our knees, especially the back knee. We're crunching a little bit at the side of the torso. When we're ready, we're gonna make a straight line with both arms, bringing our left arm to the front of the room, making an angle with our back foot, making a 45-degree angle. So if this is forward for me, my right foot, my back leg foot is facing towards the other side of the room, but not quite at 90 degrees. We're like between 45 and 70. And we're keeping both arms balanced as we can as we keep a soft gaze towards the front of the room. We're gonna come for a twist, which means this back arm is gonna come down to the mat once we lean in. So we're gonna lean in with our left arm over our knee. So leaning in, yep. And then we're gonna bring our right arm and have it extend straight forward to the front part of the room. We're kind of making a line with the sole of our foot and of our right leg that's in the back of the room and our fingertips with our right arm. Reaching over to the right side, the front side of the room. We're gonna bring that same hand that's reaching to the right side of the room, gently bring it down towards the mat. And then we're gonna take the arm that was resting on our knee and lift that towards the sky. Breathe. And then we're gonna gently bring that arm back above our knee, lift our right arm, lift our posture to center our hips, back to warrior one. And then back to mountain pose. At this time, if you need some water or if you need to shake out your body, you can do that. I'm gonna shake out my legs a little bit. Next, we're gonna come back to mountain pose and we're gonna do some standing positions, more standing positions. We're gonna do a chair pose and a twisted chair pose before we come to end our standing poses. So come to upward salute, which is having your feet grounded and then both arms up towards the sky, dropping your shoulders but keeping your arms straight. And then gently make room on your feet so that you are comfortable and grounded and have your arches and your heels, the balls of your feet all touching and energizing the mat. Spread your fingers, your toes. Spread your fingers and your toes. And then we're gonna bend our knees and we're gonna gently start bringing our sit bone down towards the mat, but in a straight line. If you need, you can also open up your stance a little bit. That'll make it a little more comfortable and more natural to be in seated, and breathe in this pose. It's very easy to hold your breath. So making sure that you're keeping your back straight, your shoulders drop so you're not tensing your neck, but keeping those arms straight. You can also bring those hands to prayer, whatever is comfortable for you, and breathing in that chair pose, making sure our knees are not over our toes so that we're not hurting our knees. Just a few more breaths. And then gently bring your booty back up in a straight stance. Shake out, balance your weight so you're balancing your feet. We're going to do one more chair pose before we go to twisted chair. So when you're ready, again, ground your feet. Visualize that energy going into the ground from your heels, your arches, the balls of your feet, spreading your toes, bending your knees just very slightly. And then breathing as we bring our arms up towards the sky and take a seat in this imaginary chair as we breathe. Keeping our back straight, our shoulders drop, but our arms straight. Breathe. Gently bring your body up towards the sky again. Stand in mountain pose. Shake out this pose. Twisting chair pose is going to start the same as chair pose, so we're going to do 2 of those, one on each side. So again, let's engage our feet, spreading our toes, keeping a slight bend in our knees. On the next inhale, bring your arms up towards the sky and drop your sit bone to this imaginary chair, bringing both palms together for prayer. Making sure that our knees are not over our feet, that we're keeping our legs as engaged as possible. Our feet, our toes are spread. We're gonna gently bring our left elbow to our right knee. If you can bring your elbow here, great. I cannot at this time, so I'm just doing my best to twist and look towards the right side of the room. And breathing into this twist. Then gently come to center and bring it to the opposite side and twist. Coming back to center, and then gently bring our bodies back up to mountain, to stance, to shaking it out. Now that we've created some twists and have fully awakened our lower body and hips and arms, we're going to do a tree pose, which helps us practice our balance. So we're going to do this for maybe 10 breaths each side. So coming from mountain, we're going to again engage our right foot. We're going to start with focusing on our right foot, visualizing each toe grabbing onto the mat for balance. We're going to keep our eyes open and a soft gaze, picking a spot on the mat or on the ground that we want to focus on. That'll help us with our balance. Keeping our right foot engaged, we're going to bring our left foot, the left sole of our foot, to the side of our calf. And we're going to breathe for 10 breaths, intentional breaths. If you come out of the pose, just go back in it. It's okay. If this is not challenging enough for you, you can also bring the foot higher up on your inner hip on your inner thigh, I mean. When you're ready, gently bring your foot down, and we're going to do the same thing. Shake it out. Shake out both feet. We're going to do the same thing on the left side, so that we bring balance and equilibrium to the world. Engage your left foot. Visualize each toe grabbing the mat as you bring your right sole of your foot to your inner leg, to your calf, or to your inner thigh. Focus on a point on the mat or on the floor and breathe. When you're ready, gently bring your foot down on the mat. Shake it out. Shake out both feet. And next, let me just check the time. All right, great. So next we're gonna go to some seated poses and just to stretch out our hips. So just meet me the bottom of, on the ground, meet me on your mat. And we're gonna gently spread out both of our legs away from each other. Take them as far apart as you can without hurting your knees or your legs. Hinge your body up straight so that you have a straight posture. Imagine there is a string of light coming from the top of your head that's pulling your spine and pulling your head and your neck towards the sky. And you're sitting, your torso is just a little bit higher than it normally is, because that light is pulling you towards the energy of space. Feel your shoulders drop with each exhale. We're gonna gently hinge towards the center of the mat. We're gonna hinge our hips over towards the mat. So we're gonna hinge right at the hips, right here. We're gonna hinge our torso towards the mat. We're gonna gently walk our fingertips away from us towards the front of the mat as we gently keep our back straight, hinging over our hips. With each inhale, seeing if we can get just a little bit further away from our body, while connecting to the breath, engaging our legs by keeping our toes towards the sky. Communicating with our bodies, finding what is a challenge and what I can bring relief to with my breath. If you're in pain, then release and gently walk your fingertips back. But if you're not, you can continue to walk your fingertips very slowly, keeping your back straight, your neck. We want to protect it, so keep your chin towards your chest. If you can, slowly drop your elbows to the mat, keeping your back straight. 5 more breaths. We're going to gently start waking up our fingertips again and walking the palms of our hands, pushing towards ourselves as we hinge our torso back to a forward straight position towards the sky, rolling our shoulders back, keeping both hands resting on our knees. When you're ready, we're going to reach to the left ankle. So we're going to take both hands and just gently start reaching for that left ankle with our fingertips, keeping our back hunched over, our chin is tucked, and we're leaning to as close as possible to that ankle as we can. If you can reach your head towards your knee, that's beautiful, do that. If you can't, just keep it where you can take it without hurting yourself. We're gonna hold here for 5 breaths. Gently walk your body, your torso back to center, very gently, so that you don't hurt your hips or your neck. Taking a deep inhale again in center. Next, we're going to reach over to our right ankle, slowly bringing both hands, walking those fingertips over to our ankle. The goal is to keep our chin tucked to your chest while reaching with your head towards your knee. Keeping feet engaged by pointing our toes towards the sky and inhaling into this pose to provide more expansion. Breathe into this pose. You might find that one side is more flexible than the other. Gently bring, again, your body back to center by gently placing pressure on the palms of your hand as we walk them back to center, being gentle with our neck. Staying in the center position. We're going to do some gentle neck movements. So I want you to bring your chin towards your chest. And then back to center on the next inhale. Bring our chin back down to your chest. And lift it back up to center with an inhale. We're going to bring our chin towards the sky, leaning our head back as we inhale. Bring it back to center as we exhale. Bring it back, chin towards the sky, back to center, chin to your chest, chin to center, chin to the sky, chin to center. And we're going to continue this movement gently, but focusing on each breath. Chin to center, chin towards the sky. Just being gentle and mindful. Again, the goal is the connection of the breath, connection of your spirit, your mind, and your body. When you next come to center, I want you to bring your right ear to your right shoulder gently, very slowly, very gently, and feel that stretch you get on your left side of your neck. not putting as much pressure as you may want to put on right now, just being gentle, thanking our neck for all the work it does for us, just holding this pose. Now bringing our neck back to center and bringing our left ear to our left shoulder. Allowing it to rest. Just 2 more breaths there, and we're going to come back to center. When you come back to center, be gentle. Make sure you're focusing on your breath. When you come to center, we're going to now gently create a circle with our head. So just gently inhale and bring your ear to your right shoulder, and then bring the back of your head and your chin up towards the sky. But literally do this as slow as you possibly can. Focusing on your breathing and then bringing it to the left side. Just making a few circles. Very slowly, very tenderly, because we don't want to hurt ourselves. We just want to provide some relief and tension to any joints, any muscles. And when you're ready, come back to center and do the same thing for the opposite side. So if you've been making circles towards the right, make circles towards the left now. Keeping that chin tucked when you're moving towards the front of the room, and then keeping that chin towards the sky as you move your head towards the back of the room. This will help protect your neck. We're doing one last circle here. When you're ready, meet me back at center. And breathe as you ground. Feel the groundness of your sit bone on the mat. We're going to bring both of our legs together as we continue to sit. We're going to slowly shimmy our way back. We're going to shimmy our way to the front of the mat as we do some poses laying down, and then we're going to have Shavasana. So if you have a towel or a rope, get that ready, because we're going to need that for some of the leg stretches that we have. And when you're ready, bring your rope or towel or whatever you're using. Wrap that around the arch of your foot, just like that, and then bring your body down so that your left leg is laying straight on the mat and your back is on the mat. And we're going to bring our right leg up towards the sky. We're going to engage our foot by flexing our toes towards us. We're going to allow our bodies to adjust to being laying on the mat, maybe adjusting your shoulder blades, maybe adjusting your hips a little bit. And once you're ready, let's start breathing into this pose. We're going to slowly and gently start bringing our leg that's tied with our towel or a rope. We're going to bring that leg towards the right side of the mat. So we're going to open up that leg. We're going to hinge very slowly
We're gonna hinge that leg over to the mat, the right side of the mat, creating a T, a letter T with your leg that's straight down your torso and the right leg. Breathing into this pose. You should be feeling this on your thighs, maybe on your glutes too. Breathing and seeing if you can open that leg to get even closer to the mat. And then gently bring that leg back, keeping a slight bend at the knees so that your knee's not locked. Bringing it back to center. Breathing into this pose. And now we're going to bring it over our left leg for a twist. Extending our right arm away from the leg that's wrapped up with the towel or the string. If you want, you can also gaze at that arm that's laying straight ahead. Keeping your other leg that's resting, keeping that leg engaged too by flexing that foot. Breathing into this pose. We're going to gently bring our hip back down to the mat or glute back down to the mat and bring our leg back to center. We're going to bend our knee towards our chest. And then we're going to bring our left leg, left sole of my foot. I'm going to bring it to the mat so I'm bending my left leg while I'm still holding onto that right leg that's bent. And I'm going to lift the sole off the mat for a modified pigeon pose. So your right ankle should be resting on your knee, left knee, or on your left thigh, depending on how flexible you are. And you should be feeling it on the back of your legs, on the back of your right leg. And you're pulling that in towards your chest. Gently bring your left foot, sole of your foot back down to the mat. Bring that knee towards your chest. Give it a hug if you can. And then gently bring that both legs to rest on the mat, both soles of your feet are on the mat. And then you're extending both legs, reaching away from your mat with your arms and your fingertips, and pulling your toes the opposite direction so that you are making yourself as long as possible. When you're ready, we're going to do the left side. So wrap your left foot, the arch of your foot, with your towel or your band or whatever you have. And then we're going to keep the right leg laying straight down. We're going to engage our left leg that's towards the sky by having our toes engaged and facing our head, reaching towards our head. Keeping the right leg engaged as well by having those toes reach towards the sky and flexing our foot. Keeping a slight bend on both knees. We never want to lock our knees. Even though we're trying to keep our legs straight, we have hips and curves and fleshy parts in different places. So whatever your body allows, whatever straight means for your leg is fine. Next, we're gonna open up that left leg by swinging it towards the mat to the left side of the room. We're gonna create a T, letter T, with our torso, the leg that's laying straight back, and then the leg that we're holding is the smaller part of the letter T. Keeping that both feet engaged, both feet are engaged and breathing in through this pose. Making sure we're keeping a slight bend on the knee. Next, bringing that leg back to center. And then to a twist by bringing the left leg towards the right side of the foot. So it's going over the right side leg. You can drop your shoulder and your arm and maybe do a gaze towards the left arm, doing a twist. Next, we're going to come back to center gently. And we're going to do modified pigeon pose. We're going to bring the foot that's been in the rope. We can get rid of the rope now if you want. And then put the ankle of your foot over your knee while lifting the right leg towards your chest. And you should be feeling it on this side now. The back of your leg and your glute. When you're ready, bring both soles of your feet on the mat very gently. Maybe swing your knees from left to right. So we're waking up both hips. And now we're making our bodies as long as possible by reaching our toes to the front of the room and our arms to the back of the room. See how long you can make yourself. And when you're ready, again, hug your knees. Bring both knees to your chest and give them a hug. Swinging your hips from left to right. And when you're ready, keep those knees towards your chest and then bring both knees to the right side of the room. Dropping both knees, coming in for a twist. You're gonna feel a bend and a twist on the left side hip. See if you can bring that shoulder blade on the left side towards the mat. Extend both arms. Gaze away from where your knees are, so gaze towards the left side. You should be feeling this in your left hip. When you're ready, lift both legs and knees towards your chest again. And now we're going to twist to the opposite side with both knees. And allow our hips to rest. Allow our shoulder blade to gently come down on the mat as we keep both arms extended, gazing at the right hand away from our knees. When you're ready, bring your knees to center again. And gently rock your body from left to right. Rock your knees from left to right. Put your hands over your knees and then bring your hands to your ankles if you can for a happy baby, which is your hips swinging from left to right as you grab your ankles and you bring your knees towards your chest. But you do so in a wide stance. And when you're ready, bring your legs to the mat for Shavasana. We're going to do our closing meditation. If you have a bolster or a blanket you want to put under your knees, you can do that. And we're just going to lay as we finalize this meditation and practice for the day. Allow your body to adjust as we're going to try to have the least movement as possible. If you need a blanket, you also can do that. So adjust your body in the way that's most comfortable for you. Dropping your shoulders. Dropping your heels. We're going to do a final body scan to energize our bodies for the rest of the evening to come to rest. Visualize a circle of light, a ball of light, wrapping your toes and your ankles, feeling that energy go through your legs, to your knees and your hips. Feeling that energy and ball of light move through your stomach, your intestines, your lungs, your heart. Feeling that energy rush through from the tips of your toes towards your chest. Now to your shoulder blades, and your arms, and your elbows, and your forearms, and your wrists. Feel that warm, luminous light go through your fingertips, running back up your arms to your shoulders and your throat. Feeling that light wrap through your tongue. You might feel a slight tingle in your tongue as you visualize this light rushing through to the back of your eyes and your nose, wrapping its energy through your brain like a string of light, just wrapping from left to right and up and down, wrapping your brain. And it's so bright that now it's wrapping around your whole head and your whole body. It's just full of light. Calming, energizing, warm light. And your body's glowing as you inhale love, exhale peace. Bringing back to mind what your intention was for your practice. And bringing that intention into the next hours of your day. Inhale and feel your chest rise. You have a few more moments left with nothing to do, nowhere to be. Take them and enjoy them. Relax and allow your body to just relax and let go for the next few breaths.
as you can just exist. Remain in this pose for the next few breaths. Gently start moving, wiggling your toes, engaging your heels, moving your fingertips, moving your body from left to right, whatever feels comfortable and good to you. And bring your body to the right side with your legs forward and leaning over your arm, with your left arm lifting your body towards seated. When you come to seated, have both soles of your feet touching. We're going to do just a couple last 3 breaths together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Bringing both palms together. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is love, of truth, of light, and of peace. When you're in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Thank yourself from the bottom of your heart that you were able to connect your body, mind, and spirit to be one. Thank yourself from the bottom of the heart for making time for yourself today. And have a blessed day. And when you're ready, gently start wiggling your toes again, wiggling your fingertips, and you can open your eyes. And that is it. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Steph.
How was it?
It was good. I almost fell asleep. Huh?
But you didn't, so that's good.
No, I didn't. Well, but thank you so much. That was nice.
Thank you. If you have any feedback later, you're welcome to text it to me.
I will.
Okay.
I will. Love you. Bye.